I go back and there's players on that team that you guys had so much success defensively.
Yeah.
And then you have a guy, Josh Norman,
who
excels in quarters.
Yes.
Does well when he keeps everything in front of him, when he gets his eyes looking in the backfield and he can pattern read and alignment and assignment read.
Yep.
However, he goes, not his fault, his franchise tag gets rescinded. He goes to, they're called the Washington Commanders now.
Commanders, yeah, they're Commanders now.
He goes out there, gets a whole bag and some change.
Yep, 75 M's. Exactly what he wanted.
But yet things didn't work out. Now, he got the money, and that's not it. But we all know, we want to get paid, but you also want to be known.
For sure.
As a heck of a football player.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about that transition of, you talked about personnel and scheme. Then he goes to Commanders.
Man to man.
And just my opinion, and not shade, not anything, it's just observation, didn't seem to align. His performance did not seem to align the way he was showing he had the ability to be in Carolina.
I think,
and I'm asking because you're a safety.
You're
over the top. You're in the back half. So you understand, pause, how they make the sausage, right?
Thank you for pausing that.
Thank goodness.
But no, Steve, what I'll say is, Josh, what a lot of people don't understand is when a player can get into this system, and they've been in this system for 4-5 years, they should know this system like the back of their hand. I practiced with these safeties and this defense and this coach for multiple years. So when me and Josh are playing together, he knows everything that I'm going to allow him to do. Hey, Josh, I know with Des Bryant, you're trying to be physical. I got you over the top. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Hey, Josh, I know that you're going to be playing with eyes this whole time. I need you to cover this side, and I'm going to go do some stuff over here. It's the knowing your teammate and chemistry that allows us to be who we are. And I will say the number one person who got Josh to be who he is, and I hope that he would say this too, is Steve Wilkes.
Yeah.
Steve Wilkes knew how to coach every single player the way that they needed to be coached. If it was Trey knowing that, hey, Trey responds better when you cuss his ass out. Like, hey, it's gonna happen. He's a good guy, but he likes being cussed at a little bit. And Josh was one of the guys who you had to build his confidence, allow him to know that he's better than a lot of us. If you gas us up to, oh, you're really this good, and maybe you're this good, well, maybe you start playing this well because you think you're that good. And that's what I would try to instill to my guys. Man, you a dog, man. You can, and some of them, hey, little size dogger than most. You know what I mean? but if you can get that out of them, you saw Josh Norman in his prime. A great coach, a great staff, a great system with great guys around him who knew everything that he wanted to do. You go to Washington, you're on a whole new team, whole new scheme, whole new secondary DBs. Like, talk to him, he had to get adjusted to how his safeties like to play. For me, I was in safety, I want my boys to not look bad. Like, I want y'all's name not to be on Twitter. Yeah. I don't want nobody to say y'all boys burnt toast. Yeah. So I'm going to make sure I protect y'all boys. But for, a lot of guys moving on to different places, it's hard, man. It's hard to build that chemistry and say the same swag and same feel that you had because learning these playbooks isn't easy.
Yeah.
Now, corner, you got a little easier job, but if you take away, like you said, he's a quarters corner, loves to use his eyes, and if you take that away from him, it's like, Trey, hey, you love playing deep, deep third safety, middle, post safety, but I want you to play man to man every single play. Can I do it? Yeah. Am I gonna enjoy doing it? Probably not. Like, but it's that's that role of when you meet that perfect coaching system. Gettleman, man, why you rescinding that boy franchise tag, man? I'm talking. We would have came back with the whole same team next season. Oh, don't get me started on all that, man. But
Well,
yeah, man.
I brought that up because you can see players, right? There's a number of players.
Numbers. There's way more players that are system players than guys that are ballers. I'll say that right
like
now.
J.C. Jackson, right? You see what obviously he's sustained some injury, so that's not his fault, right?
Yeah.
And then I go back to
Real quick, why is it different for Jace? We just talked about how Josh Norman, he had to learn a new system, new safety behind him. JC had 1 year already, and can he also not adjust, or are we just saying the system?
I'm asking. No. He was injured, so we weren't able to see what he needs or what he likes. Like, we didn't get a full context of, like, man, JC, we know what JC was and how he played and what made him such an attractive free agent leaving the Bills. We have not been able to get the JC. We have not been able to get the JC Jackson. I'm sorry, not the Bills, the New England Patriots. We have not been able to, without the injuries, been able to see the transition and the change of system. If there is a change of system, was it the system, or was it him, or was it both? We haven't gotten that. We haven't gotten enough to know who gets the credit.
Right.
I think right now this is the year that we'll learn because of him coming in ASAP and getting hurt. This is the year that even Derwin James got hurt too. Now, what I don't like about those, J.C. Jackson and Asante Samuel, I think Jr. Is that who it is?
They're two different players.
They're two different players, but they're two both smaller corners. Now, I'm not saying smaller corners can't lock down big receivers, da-da-da-da-da-da. But I think we're in a game today where different teams are now, they're now coming with a big receiver who's like that and a smaller receiver who's like that. And when you play let's just say a Seattle Seahawks, you're going to get a DJ Metcalf, and then you're going to get a Tyler Lockett. Who is on the bigger receiver? Or do you just say left and right? Let you guys play y'all's play.
Isn't that Derwin's whole thing, though, is he can play safety and man-to-man?
No.
But Derwin's not guarding receivers. You know what I mean? Like, Derwin is going to guard your Travis Kelce. He's going to guard your he can do a little bit, but it's not.
He can't do it all.
No, he can't do it all.
I'm saying that was the rap on him getting drafted. I know Kelce was just talking about Derwin gave him the hardest hit of his career. And I know
for sure.
I know that's not coverage, but the whole thing, kind of like Jalen Ramsey too. When he was coming out, it was like, oh, he can do it all.
Okay,
so that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking.
Two different players though. So like when people put Ramsey and Derwin James together, Derwin is a safety first.
Yes.
Jalen Ramsey is a corner first. So when both of them can do the same things, like play nickel, it doesn't mean that they're exactly alike.
Cut to it. Let's get down to it.